The galaxy was vast, endless, and full of secrets. For centuries, the Galactic Council had warned every species about one place, the forbidden Expanse. No ship was allowed to enter. No one knew exactly what was there. Some said it was empty space, dark and dangerous. Others whispered about strange energy that could destroy entire fleets. Oh, no one had ever returned from there to tell the truth. It was a place of fear, a place of mystery, a place no one dared approach. Among the Council's fleet, there was a small scout ship named Vera. Its hull was scratched and worn from decades of travel. But it was fast, clever, and built for exploration. Its crew was small, only 3 aliens, each trained for years to detect anomalies and unknown signals. Captain Rillock, a tall, lean alien with gray-green skin and bright amber eyes, stood on the bridge watching the star maps. His hands moved quickly over the controls, but his mind was uneasy. "Captain," said Lieutenant Kira, her voice trembling slightly. "Sensors are picking up a signal from inside the forbidden Expanse." Rillock froze. "A signal? Impossible," he said, frowning. "Nothing comes from there. Nothing." "It's real," Kira said, her claws tapping on the console. "It's faint, but it's moving. It's not static. It's alive." The bridge fell silent. Commander Thel, a heavy-set alien with many eyes, leaned forward. "Alive? Are you saying it's a ship?" "I don't know," Kira admitted. "But it's not anything we have in our database. The energy readings are strange, unstable, powerful, very powerful." Rylock's jaw tightened. The rules were clear. No one should enter the Expanse. Entering it could mean death or worse. But curiosity gnawed at him. Something about the signal felt different, almost intelligent. He couldn't explain it, but he felt a pull, a need. To see it with his own eyes? "Plot a course," he finally said, his voice low but firm. "We follow it. We stay at a distance. We observe. Nothing more." The ship's engines hummed, and Vera slowly turned toward the Expanse. Outside, stars stretched into long streaks as they accelerated. The Expanse loomed ahead, a dark void in the galaxy, colder and emptier than any space they had ever crossed. Even from here it seemed alive, pulsing with a faint energy that made the ship's instruments flicker. Hours passed. The signal grew stronger, and the crew began to notice odd phenomena. Lights on the bridge flickered. Strange shapes appeared on the radar, then vanished. Kira's voice shook as she reported, "Captain, there's something moving outside. Something enormous. I can't identify it." Relock's eyes narrowed. "Show me," he ordered. The screens displayed faint blurs, shadows stretching across the Expanse. The shapes moved too fast, too precise, to be natural. Every instinct screamed danger, but every thought screamed curiosity. Then the signal changed. Instead of a steady pulse, it began to repeat a pattern, almost like a message. Vera's computers tried to decode it, but the language was unknown. Not alien, not human, not any species in the Council records. It was different, alive, thinking, waiting. "What is it saying?" Thal asked, his multiple eyes wide with fear. "I don't know," Kira whispered. "It's calling to us." Relock clenched his fists. He knew this was dangerous. Every rule of the Council, every warning drilled into his mind, screamed to turn back, but he could not. He wanted to know. The signal was unique, beautiful, threatening, alive, and it was moving closer. Suddenly the ship shuddered. Alarms blared as the energy readings spiked. The lights outside twisted, as if reality itself was bending. Relock gripped the controls. "Hold steady. We are not leaving yet." The shadows outside grew larger. One stretched across the viewport, a shape so immense that it made the crew gasp. They could not see it clearly. It was dark, yet it seemed to absorb light. It moved with purpose, slow but unstoppable. Kira's voice trembled. "It's looking at us." Rillock swallowed hard. "We are seeing something no one else has ever seen," he said quietly. "Something beyond our understanding, But we cannot panic, we observed, that is all. For minutes, maybe hours, the shadow lingered at the edge of sensors. The signal pulsed again, stronger now. The pattern was repeated, almost like a heartbeat. Rylock felt it in his own chest, and he realized it was impossible to ignore. The signal. It wanted something. He did not know what, but he understood one thing clearly. Whatever was in the expanse, it was alive, it was intelligent, and it had noticed them. Then, without warning, the shadow disappeared. The signal vanished. Expanse returned to emptiness. The bridge was silent. Even the ship seemed to hold its breath. Rylock exhaled slowly. "We survived," he said softly, almost to himself. "But we are not the same. Something is out there, and it has seen us." Kira stared at the empty darkness ahead. "Do we tell the council?" Rylock shook his head. "They will never believe it. Not now. Not ever. They will say, we saw things that weren't there. But we know. We saw it. And it is only the beginning." Outside, the forbidden expanse waited, silent, dark, and alive. And somewhere deep in the void, something pulsed again. Watching, waiting. The galaxy had never been truly quiet. But the silence around the forbidden expanse was different. It was heavy, thick, almost alive. Rumors about strange happenings there had always terrified the council, but now the whispers had become reality. The scout ship Vera had returned from the edge of the expanse with strange report shadows, signals, and a power no one could explain. Most species refused to believe the crew. "The expanse is dead space," the council said. "Nothing lives. There, nothing can survive." But some voices, smaller, curious ones, wondered if there was more. One such ship, a sleek alien vessel called Renara, slipped quietly away from the council's armada. Its mission was simple: investigate the signal for themselves, without permission. Captain Liren, a silver-scaled alien with glowing violet eyes, led the crew of Renara. Unlike others, she did not fear the unknown. She studied every star, every anomaly, and had trained for moments just like this. Her first officer, Zarek, a nervous but brilliant navigator, tapped constantly on his console, scanning for any trace of the mysterious signal. "Captain, I am picking up movement," Zarek said, his voice tight. "It is faint but consistent. Something is out there." Lyron's eyes narrowed. Show me." On the main screen, a tiny dot blinked in the endless darkness. It pulsed with energy, moving erratically, yet clearly intelligent. "It's alive," Lyron whispered. "A ship, but not like ours. Faster, smarter, unpredictable." The crew exchanged worried glances. No technology in the known galaxy could move like that. No weapon could stop it. The signal's pattern repeated itself, almost like a heartbeat. It seemed aware of Renara, adjusting its position as if testing them, measuring their reaction. "What is it trying to do?" Zarek asked. "I don't know," Liren admitted, "but it wants something. It is aware we are here." Suddenly the ship shuddered. Sensors went wild. The human vessel appeared briefly on the radar, then vanished. Then it reappeared somewhere else, faster than thought possible. Crew members gasped. It was impossible, but undeniable. "This is not impossible," murmured Enla, the ship's engineer. "It's defying physics. It shouldn't even be able to move like this." Lyren clenched her claws around the control panel. "It isn't obeying our rules, our understanding. This is something new, something we have never faced." She took a deep breath. "Stay calm. Observe. Do not provoke it." Minutes stretched into hours. Human ship danced through the darkness, appearing here, disappearing there. Its movement was graceful, almost playful, but deadly. Every time Renara tried to scan it, the sensors failed. Energy readings spiked, then vanished. It was untouchable. Then, suddenly, the human ship slowed, hovering in front of them. A faint shape became visible on the main screen, a silhouette of a human, alone on a small bridge, calm and unafraid. Lyran's crew froze. None of them had ever seen a species like this, not in the Council archives, not in their exploration. Records the humans spoke. Not in alien languages, not in codes, but in basic galactic common. "Why are you here?" The voice was calm, clear, and commanding. Lyran's jaw tightened. Did it just speak?" she asked. "It's asking a question," Zarek said, shaking. "It knows we are here. It understands us. It is intelligent." Lyran nodded slowly. She realized that this was no ordinary encounter. It was first contact, and it was unlike anything the galaxy had experienced. The humans were not aggressive. They were observing, testing, waiting, but there was power in their calmness, a confidence no alien could match. "Keep your distance," Lyran ordered. "Do not make sudden moves. We are guests in this unknown space." But even as she spoke, she felt a strange pull, a curiosity stronger than fear. The human ship pulsed with energy, a silent warning, yet also an invitation. The crew couldn't explain why, but they felt it too. The humans were watching everything, seeing more than any sensor could detect. Suddenly, the human ship disappeared again. Only the faint signal remained, pulsating like a heartbeat in the darkness. Renara's crew stared at the empty void, unsettled. The ship's systems returned to normal, but the silence felt heavier, more threatening. Lyran exhaled slowly. "Came looking for answers," she said quietly. "And we found questions we cannot even imagine answering yet." Zarek swallowed hard. "Do we follow it?" Lyran shook her head. "Not yet. We report back. But remember this, we are not alone. And whatever is out there, it is far beyond our understanding." As Renara turned back toward known space, the human ship reappeared briefly at the edge of the expanse. A silhouette, small against the infinite darkness, almost fading into the void. But its presence left a mark on every mind aboard Renara. The galaxy had been warned something new had arrived. Something alive. Something human. And in the darkness of the forbidden expanse, the pulse of the signal continued, steady, watching, waiting. The galaxy had never felt so small. Even the bravest of alien pilots whispered about the forbidden expanse now. A place where no ship could move freely, where nothing obeyed the normal rules of space. After the reports from Vera and Renara, the Council was on edge.
Ow.
But still, curiosity burned brighter than fear. The human ship had returned. This time it did not just appear and vanish. It moved through the expanse as if it owned the space itself. Scout ships tried to follow it, but sensors failed. Weapons could not target it. Even the fastest engines could not keep up. Captain Relock of Vera stared at the readings, disbelief written across his face. "How is this possible?" he muttered. "Moves as if space itself bends around it." Kira, leaning over the console, shivered. "It's like it knows where we are before we move. It predicts everything. Nothing can hide from it." Outside, the human ship pulsed faintly, an almost gentle glow that seemed to radiate intelligence. Rylock's crew had seen many things, but this was different. The ship seemed alive, aware, and dangerous. And yet, it did not attack then. Something impossible happened. A scout ship from a nearby alien race attempted a bold maneuver, moving to surround the human vessel. Their sensors locked on, weapons ready. The human ship vanished instantly, only to reappear behind the alien craft. Before anyone could react, the alien ship's engines failed. Systems crashed. It drifted silently into the void. Untouched but incapacitated, Rylock froze. It didn't destroy them, but it could have. It controlled their systems. Every one of them. Every device. Kira's voice was trembling. "It's too powerful. Cannot fight it. We cannot even measure it. We don't understand it." And yet the human ship did not pursue them. Drifted silently, almost observing, almost curious. The crew realized that humans were testing, not attacking. Every move, every pulse of energy was deliberate. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Hours passed, then the human ship made contact. A calm voice echoed through universal channels, clear and commanding. You are close, but you are not ready. Step back. Rylok's jaw tightened. Speaks again, always in common. Does not fear us, but it warns us. And it is more advanced than we ever imagined. Kira whispered almost to herself. It's like it can. See everything. Predict everything. We are small to it. Weak. Fragile. Outside, the human ship pulsed once, twice, then accelerated in ways no engine could manage. It vanished from sensors entirely, only to reappear hundreds of kilometers away, then hundreds more, faster than thought possible. The alien crew aboard Vera realized something terrifying. The humans were not bound by the normal laws of space. They moved freely, almost untouchable, untethered to physics as everyone knew it. Then the impossible happened. A massive energy. Ripples spread across the expanse. Alien ships tried to flee, but their engines stuttered. Systems went dark. The human ship remained unaffected, gliding smoothly, calm and precise. Vera's sensors picked up something new, an energy field emanating from the human ship, reshaping the very space around it. Rylok whispered. It's rewriting reality. Kira's eyes were wide. We cannot fight it. We cannot run. We are nothing compared to this. And yet, the humans did not harm them. Instead, they hovered, almost watching, as if teaching, as if testing patience, restraint, and courage. Every pulse of energy, every impossible movement was controlled. Deliberate, measured. Rylok took a deep breath. We are witnessing something new, something the galaxy has never seen. Humans, they are not just a species. They are a force, power beyond understanding. We must survive this. We must learn. The human ship pulsed one last time, a soft glow against the void. Then it disappeared entirely, not into the expanse, not into the stars. It simply vanished. Systems returned to normal. The shadows were gone. The crew sat in silence, hearts pounding. Kira whispered, almost reverently. They are everywhere and nowhere, and they know we are here. Rylok nodded slowly. The Council will never believe this. No one will, but we know, and this changes everything. Outside the ship, the forbidden expanse stretched endlessly, dark and silent. But somewhere, deep in the void, a pulse continued, steady and alive, watching, waiting, and somewhere. Humans moved freely, untouchable, shaping the galaxy's rules. Without a word, without a fight, the galaxy had met humans. It would never be the same again. The Galactic Council chambers were enormous, a shining structure floating above a gas giant. Delegates from hundreds of species had gathered there, voices echoing through the high domes. But today, there was tension, heavy and thick, a fear that could not be ignored. News had arrived from the edge of the forbidden expanse. Humans had been seen. Ships had returned, trembling, full of reports that no one could easily dismiss. The council president, an aged alien with skin like polished bronze and eyes that reflected centuries of knowledge, pounded his gavel. Order. Silence. His voice boomed, but the murmurs continued. Explain. Clearly, why is there panic in the fleet? Captain Rylok of Vera stepped forward, his crew behind him. His voice was steady, but his amber eyes betrayed unease. Honorable council members, we have seen a human ship in the forbidden expanse. It is unlike anything known. Its speed, its control over space. No sensors, no weapons, nothing can track or touch it. It is beyond comprehension. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Some delegates leaned forward, disbelief written on their faces. Others, older and wiser, felt a shiver of fear. No one had ever seen a human up close. The stories were myths, exaggerations, or old propaganda. And yet here was proof, terrifying and undeniable. An ambassador from the Threxian sector. A reptilian species with scales that shimmered in green and gold slammed his clawed hand on the desk. This is impossible. Expanse is forbidden. For a reason. No species survives there, much less one with such power. We must attack. We must destroy them before they grow stronger. A murmur of agreement ran through some delegates, but others looked uneasy. The Ilari, a tall, thin species with translucent skin, whispered among themselves. "Attack," they said. "Do they not see the risk? We cannot fight them. We barely understand them. We are stepping into a trap." Relok cleared his throat. "Warn you. We cannot assume aggression. The humans have not attacked us. They have observed, tested, but not harmed. Their abilities are extraordinary, beyond any known physics. They can manipulate energy, control space, and vanish at will. We do not know their limits." The president's eyes narrowed. "Limits, are you saying they are? More powerful than our fleets? Stronger than all our combined weapons?" Relok nodded slowly. "I do not know the full extent. But yes. From what we have seen, any direct confrontation would be disastrous. They are evolved differently. Their understanding of space and energy is unlike anything in the galaxy." Silence fell. The council members absorbed this revelation, fear and awe, battling within them. No one wanted to admit it, but the humans had changed the balance of power. The galaxy, vast and endless, was suddenly smaller, more fragile than a strange thing. Happened. A soft signal, clear and calm, interrupted the council's communication channels. All screens flickered, showing a simple message in Galactic Common. "We are already everywhere. Respect the Expanse or leave." Gasps turned to screams. Some delegates banged their fists on the tables. "Intruders." "This is an insult," shouted a Volcar representative, a bear-like species with thick fur and massive claws. Relok held up his hands. "No, this is not an attack. This is a warning, a statement. The humans do not threaten us, yet they demand caution. They are testing our judgment." The council president rubbed his temples, his voice tense. "This is unprecedented. Never has a species communicated with us from forbidden space. Never has it demonstrated such control. They are not merely advanced. They are different." A younger delegate, a humanologist from the council, whispered nervously, "They may be watching us even now. Every decision, every debate, they know, they see, they test." Some factions wanted immediate war. Some wanted diplomacy. Others wanted to flee entirely, but all were united in fear. The Expanse had always been distant, theoretical. Now it was real. Humans were real, powerful, and unknowable. Relok stepped forward again. "I urge caution. Do not underestimate them. Do not act rashly. Observe. Learn. We may not have another chance. If we provoke them, the consequences could be catastrophic." The president nodded slowly, though his hands trembled. "Very well. We convene a special task force. No ships enter the Expanse until we understand these humans." And yet, his voice faltered slightly. "We are already behind. They are not waiting for us. They're always one step ahead." Outside the council chambers, the galaxy seemed quieter than ever. Ships moved slowly, fleets held in readiness, whispers of fear spreading like wildfire. And somewhere, far beyond the borders of understanding, the humans watched, silent, calculating, patient. The council would meet again, argue again, and try to find answers. But one truth had settled over everyone like a shadow. The galaxy had changed. Humans had arrived. Nothing would ever be the same. In the dark void of the forbidden Expanse, a pulse continued, steady, alive, waiting. The humans knew the council had panicked. They knew the fleets were afraid. They knew the next move was up to them. The galaxy was tense. News of humans in the forbidden Expanse had spread like wildfire. Many species were terrified. Some wanted peace. Others wanted to strike first. But a rogue faction of alien ships, impatient and ambitious, had chosen their own path. They were determined to chase the humans, to uncover their secrets, and if possible, claim the power for themselves. Captain Relok of Vera watched from his observation deck as the rogue fleet accelerated toward the Expanse. Their ships gleamed with aggressive intent, engines roaring, weapons charged. He turned to Kira, her green eyes wide with concern. They do not understand. They think they can hunt humans. They will regret this. Kira nodded silently, glancing. At the readouts, they cannot match them. The humans are beyond everything we know. Still, the rogue faction moved forward. They disappeared into the Expanse, leaving a trail of energy turbulence in their wake. No one on the Council's fleets tried to stop them. Curiosity and fear were strong, but arrogance was stronger. Inside the Expanse, the humans waited. Ship, calm and silent, floated like a shadow among the dark void. They did not flee. They did not attack. They watched, calculating, aware of every move. The rogue fleet entered the Expanse's boundary. And almost immediately, chaos began. Sensors flickered. Communication channels cut in and out. Ships that had been traveling in formation found themselves separated by hundreds of kilometers within moments. Engines stuttered. Systems malfunctioned. Captain Vorn, the leader of the rogue fleet, barked orders. Form a line. Keep your targets locked. Do not let them escape. But the humans were not escaping. They were everywhere at once. Ships blinked. In and out of reality, moving faster than any engine could allow. A scout ship attempted a bold maneuver to flank them, only to find its controls unresponsive. Its weapons locked on nothing. The human ship glided past calmly, untouchable. Rylok's voice came over the comms to Kira. They are testing them. Not attacking, but showing them. Who controls the Expanse? The rogue pilots began to panic. Their confidence faded as one. By one, their ships were disabled. Not destroyed, but immobilized. Energy fields bent around them. Engines refused to fire. Weapons short-circuited. Every attempt to chase or harm the humans failed. Captain Vorn's roar echoed through the fleet. Target them. Fire. Anything. Do not let them mock us. A pulse of energy spread from the human ship, gentle yet absolute. Systems across the rogue fleet went dark. Ships floated, helpless, as if held by invisible hands. Not a single human weapon fired, not a single aggressive action was taken. And yet every alien ship felt the power, understood their fragility. On Vera, Rylok whispered, almost in awe. They are not fighting. They are showing what they can do without violence. They are untouchable and they know it. The human ship's glow intensified, casting shadows across the Expanse. A low hum resonated through the void, felt as much as heard. The rogue faction's fleet shuddered under its influence. Every ship, every pilot, every system responded instinctively. They could not resist. The humans were bending the space around. Them, manipulating energy, shaping the environment, proving control without striking a single blow. Then, as quickly as it had begun, the humans vanished. Rogue ships spun helplessly, trying to regain control. Communications were jammed. Sensors returned to normal, but the chaos lingered. The fleet had survived, but their morale had shattered. Fear replaced arrogance. Respect replaced pride. Vorn clenched his claws, anger and terror mingling. They cannot be defeated. How is this possible? Rylok shook his head slowly. It is simple. Humans are not bound by our limitations. We are not just a species. We are evolution. Perfected. They understand space and energy in ways we cannot even imagine. No fleet, no weapon, no strategy can touch them. Kira looked at him, voice quiet. And yet, they did not kill anyone. They only showed. They are teaching or warning. Outside, in the endless darkness of the Expanse, the human ship pulsed once, twice, a gentle heartbeat against the void. Then it disappeared entirely. The rogue fleet was left spinning in confusion, systems stabilizing, pilots shaken to their core. Rylok exhaled, tension leaving him slowly. They are testing us. All of us. The Council, the rogues, the galaxy. And every test shows one truth. Humans are not to be underestimated. They are a force unlike any we have faced. The rogue faction, humiliated and frightened, began to retreat, their pride broken, their ships damaged by systems they could not explain. Word of the encounter would spread quickly. Tales of humans who moved like shadows, who bent reality, who could disable entire fleets without firing a single shot. The galaxy had a new truth. Humans had arrived. They were powerful. They were intelligent, beyond measure, and they were already shaping the balance of the universe silently, effortlessly. Everywhere, and somewhere deep in the expanse, the pulse of the human ship continued. Steady, calm, watching, waiting, the chase had begun. And the galaxy was only beginning to understand what it had awakened. The forbidden expanse was quiet again, but not peaceful. The rogue fleet had retreated, and the Council's forces were hesitant, unsure, and afraid. Rumors of humans bending reality, disabling entire fleets, and disappearing at will had spread across the galaxy. Every species was on edge, but curiosity burned stronger than fear. Some wanted to understand. Some wanted revenge. Some simply wanted to survive. Captain Relock and his crew of Vera hovered at the edge of the expanse. Kira stared at the empty void, her voice soft. They're still here. I can feel it. Watching us? Relock nodded slowly. They have always been here in ways we cannot see. They are patient, calculating, and they know more than we ever will at least for now. Suddenly, the human ship appeared, not moving, not glowing violently, but hovering like a calm shadow. It was as if it had been waiting, observing Vera and the other council ships, deciding when to speak. Then a voice filled the comscom, clear and commanding in Galactic common. You have seen our power. You have tested your courage. You will learn the truth. The crew stiffened. Raylock's heart pounded. Truth, he whispered. Yes, the voice continued. We are not your enemies, but we protect something ancient, something vital to all life in the galaxy. The Expanse is not empty. It holds the remnants of an ancient structure built before any council existed. A place of power, knowledge, and balance. Kira's eyes widened. Ancient structure. Why keep it hidden? The human voice explained, calm but firm. This structure is fragile. Its energy can create or destroy entire systems. Must not fall into hands that do not understand it. That is why we remain here, silently watching, guarding, and teaching. Those who enter must prove wisdom, patience, and respect. Rylock swallowed hard. You've been guarding it all this time? Alone? Yes, the voice replied. Alone, yet not alone. We watch, we learn, we protect, and sometimes we intervene, only when necessary. The crew of Vera was silent, absorbing this revelation. The humans were not just powerful, they were guardians. The fear, the awe, the mystery, it all began to make sense. But the danger remained. The rogue fleet had tried to challenge them, and the humans had only shown restraint. What if others were less careful? You have seen what power looks like. The human voice continued. Do not mistake it for aggression. It is control, knowledge, understanding. The galaxy has not faced us before, but now it must learn. Respect the Expanse. Respect life, and you will survive. Kira leaned back, trembling slightly. They could destroy us all, but they don't. They only warn. Exactly. Rylock said, his voice low. This is far beyond anything we imagined. Humans are not just fighters. They are guardians, teachers, and protectors. And yet they are patient. Terribly patient. Then, the human ship pulsed once. Twice. A soft rhythm, like a heartbeat. A holographic image appeared on the main screen. It was a human figure, calm, unarmed, observing them with quiet intensity. Its eyes seemed to look directly into every crew member's mind. We are always watching, the human said. We know every move, every thought, every mistake. The galaxy must learn to respect balance, or it will break itself. We intervene only when necessary. The choice is yours. Relock nodded slowly, understanding the weight of the words. They are not here to conquer. They are here to guide, to protect. To ensure no one knows species uses the power in the Expanse. Kira's voice was barely audible. And if we fail? The human figure paused, then replied, "Then consequences will follow. Not out of anger, but out of necessity. Balance must be maintained. That is all." The hologram faded, leaving only the soft pulse of the ship in the darkness. The crew of Vera stared at the void, understanding that humans were not merely another species, they were a force of nature. Intelligent, restrained, patient, and unimaginably powerful, Rylock whispered, almost to himself. "The galaxy has changed. Humans are not here to fight us, but to ensure we do not destroy ourselves in their presence. Their judgment is absolute." Kira looked at him, voice trembling. "We have seen their power. We have heard their warning. But do we? Do we even understand the full extent of what they can do?" Rylock shook his head slowly. "No. And that is why we must be careful. The humans are a reminder, a challenge. Is in the galaxy is only beginning to see the truth." Outside, in the endless darkness of the expanse, the pulse continued, gentle, steady, alive, watching, waiting, and somewhere. Humans moved silently among the stars, guardians of a secret older than any council, older than any fleet, older than the galaxy itself. The council would hear the reports soon. The rogue factions would spread fear and rumors. But the truth was clear. Humans were not to be underestimated. They were the hidden power behind the expanse, and their patience was infinite. The galaxy was no longer the same. It had awakened to a truth it could not yet fully comprehend. Humans had arrived, and everything would change. The Galactic Council chambers were filled with whispers and tension. Every delegate, from the smallest species to the largest, felt the weight of what had happened in the forbidden expanse. Reports of human power, restraint, and intelligence had spread like wildfire. Even the bravest members of the council could not deny it. The humans were different. Far beyond anything they had faced, Captain Rylock and Kira stood in the observation deck of Vera. Looking at the dark expanse beyond known space, the humans had returned. Not silently this time, not in shadows, they were arriving in force. Unlike any the galaxy had seen, hovered at the edge of the council's domain. They were sleek, calm, glowing faintly with energy that seemed alive. "They're here," Kira whispered. "And there, waiting." Rylock's amber eyes narrowed. "They do not come to fight. They come to decide, or to show us the consequences of our choices." Inside the council chambers, panic and awe battled in every mind. Some species wanted to flee. Others demanded action. Weapons were activated, fleets prepared, and every system braced for confrontation. But everyone hesitated because they knew. Everyone knew that humans were unlike anything else in the galaxy then. The human ships entered orbit around the Council's home planet, silent.com. Their numbers were small, but their presence filled the sky like a living shadow. No weapons fired, no fleet charged. And yet the Council felt powerless. The humans did not ask permission, they simply arrived. And that was enough. A young ambassador, trembling, whispered to his neighbor, Do they plan to attack?" "No," the neighbor replied softly. "They don't need to. Look at them. Their presence alone controls everything." On the council floor, President Solon tried to maintain authority. "Delegates, prepare your defenses. But proceed with caution. We do not know what these humans will do, and it may not be wise to provoke them." As he spoke, a human ship sent a pulse of energy, not violent but subtle. It spread across the council chamber, and every communicator, every weapon system, every shield shimmered briefly, as if acknowledging a greater power. Delegates felt a shiver down their spines. The humans were here, and they had already shown control without firing a shot. Rylock muttered. "They don't threaten us. They do not attack. But they make it clear who holds the advantage, and it is not us." The human voice echoed in galactic common, calm, and authoritative. "The expanse is forbidden. Respect it. Respect life, or leave this galaxy. The choice is yours." Gasps and murmurs filled the chamber. Some species shouted in anger, others froze in fear, but no one moved. The words carried weight far beyond language. They were a reminder, a warning, and a judgment all at once. Kira turned to Rylock, voice shaking. Do we obey? Can we even fight them? Rylock shook his head slowly. Fight? No, we could not win. Even if we tried, the humans' abilities, their understanding, it is beyond our technology, our strategy, our power. They are not here to fight, but to enforce. Wisdom. President Solon raised his hands, trying to regain order. Delegates, we must respond. We must act. But wisely. Humans do not threaten, yet they demand respect. Every move we make is seen. Every thought is measured. And we are vulnerable. A ripple of fear spread across the room. The human ships outside pulsed softly, like a heartbeat. Calm, controlled, patient. The council understood collectively that this was the humans' choice, their test, their judgment. Finally, the council fell silent. Some wanted to negotiate, others wanted to flee. But the human presence remained. Their quiet power was absolute. Rylock whispered, almost to himself, the humans are not here to destroy. They are here to decide who is worthy, can respect the Expanse, and who cannot. And we must learn or be left behind. Outside, the human ships shimmered, gentle yet immense, calm authority that made every council member realize the truth. The galaxy's balance had shifted. Humans were not just a species, they were a force of judgment, power beyond control, reminder that the universe had rules even they could not break. The decision was clear, though difficult. Obey, respect, survive, or challenge and face consequences beyond imagining. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the pulse of the humans continued. Watching, waiting, judging. The galaxy had been tested, and the final answer depended not on fleets or weapons or words. Council understood finally and completely. Humans had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same. The council chambers were quieter than ever. After the humans' arrival, after the warning, after the subtle demonstration of power, every species understood the truth. The galaxy had changed. No one moved carelessly. No one spoke rashly. Every mind was focused on the skies above, where the human ships had hovered. Silent, calm. Unyielding. Captain Rylock of Vera stood at the observation deck, staring at the expanse beyond. Kira was beside him, her green eyes wide with awe. They're leaving, she whispered. Rylock's jaw tightened. Not leaving. Watching, judging. They only go where they must. And even now, their presence lingers in every system, every fleet, every mind. Outside, the human ships shimmered one last time. Their soft glow pulsed, like a heartbeat stretching across the void. Then, as suddenly as they had arrived, they vanished. No warp, no jump, no truss only, the faint echo of energy. In the expanse, a reminder that something beyond understanding had been here. The council members could hardly believe their eyes. The silence in the chambers was heavy, filled with fear, respect, and awe. President Solon raised his voice, but it sounded small, almost insignificant. They are gone, and yet they remain. Their judgment, their power. It is beyond comprehension. We are humbled. We are changed. Ambassadors from the Threxian Volcar and Elari species exchanged nervous glances. Some whispered about immediate retaliation. Others spoke of treaties, diplomacy, and observation. But deep down, every one of them knew it was futile. The humans had shown their strength without a single act of violence. They had set the rules. Without a word, Kira leaned closer to Rylock. Do you think they were testing us? All of us? Rylock nodded slowly. Yes, and we passed. In part, we survived. But the lesson is clear. Respect life, respect the expanse, respect balance, or we will face consequences beyond imagining. Outside the council's planet, ships and fleets hovered silently, scanning the darkness where the humans had been. Sensors detected faint traces of energy, impossible readings that defied explanation. Engineers scratched their heads. Whispered theories, scholars argued endlessly. But all agreed on one thing: humans were not like any species they had known. Not like any species they could even imagine. A young ambassador from the outer rim, trembling, whispered, "Do you think they'll ever return?" Rylock did not answer immediately. He stared at the empty sky, the void where the pulse had been. Perhaps, perhaps not. They move on as they must. Remember this: humans are patient. Their patience is infinite. They watch, always. Inside the council chambers, delegates debated what to do next. Some called for fleets to chase, to demand explanations. Others argued that any action would be dangerous, foolish, suicidal even. Every decision was weighed against the knowledge that humans could appear anywhere at any time, and with powers beyond comprehension. Then a soft come signal flickered across every council terminal, a ghostly reminder. It read in simple, galactic common, "Respect the Expanse. Live wisely. The galaxy is watching you as we watch it." No one spoke for several moments. Fear, awe, and humility hung in the air like a heavy fog. They had met humans. They had seen their abilities. The humans had vanished, leaving nothing but respect and a warning. Rylock turned to Kira. "We are not the same as before. The galaxy is not the same. Humans have reminded every species here that survival depends on wisdom as much as strength. And they leave us with a choice: to act wisely or suffer." Kira nodded, her voice quiet. Silent respect. Is there power? Not weapons, not conquest, just presence. And that presence changes everything. In the void of the forbidden expanse, the faint pulse lingered, gentle, steady, alive. The humans were gone, yet their influence stretched across light years. Every fleet, every ship, every planet felt it. The galaxy had been tested. The lesson had been given. And now it waited. The council would rebuild, strategize, and debate endlessly. Fleets would patrol the expanse. Scholars would study the impossible energy readings. But deep in the hearts of every being there was a new understanding. The humans were not here to conquer. They were here to guide, to protect, to ensure balance. And their judgment was absolute. Rylock and Kira watched the skies one last time. "We have seen it," Rylock said softly, "and we will never forget. The galaxy will remember too. Humans have arrived, and nothing will ever be the same." Somewhere, deep in the infinite darkness, humans move silently among the stars. Guardians, observers, teachers of a galaxy not yet ready for their full power, watching, waiting, and always, in the silence, respected. The galaxy was silent, respectful, and forever changed.